All right, thanks for joining us. We're talking about exams today. If your exams are in your dream, you've joined the Dream Interpreters, Jendayi Harris, along with Kurt Johnson and our team. So we're talking about exams and getting tested in dreams. And I've heard it said many times that if you're taking the test, it can be quiet or can feel anxious. You may actually have a test coming up or be in like a spiritual test of some sorts, right, Kurt?
That's right. And it's also a lot of times depending on where you are. You could be in a room taking a test, sweating it out because you have no idea what the answers are. Or you could be late for a test.
Yes.
And on your way to just furiously trying to get there. Some people have dreams where they're back in school and they have to get into their locker to get something before they go and take a test, but their locker won't
Like they
open.
don't have all they need for
That's
the
right.
test.
And so all these things that go into a test dream.
And if you're naked, that's really
Yeah.
that's really making you vulnerable in that test.
and all these things that go into a test dream are really working hand in hand to kind of tell you what type of test that you either are facing or will be facing in the future.
Yes, and usually it's a test in your life. There's something you need to pass that you need to pass. So how many times you may have taken that test could come up. I remember having a dream where I've had the same test like 400 times or more. And I was like, okay, getting ready to pass this test. So there's something in your life you may need to pass, an obstacle, a lesson you need to learn that you're not quite getting the answer to, and you still need to seek out those right answers for how to pass that test and overcome that obstacle or issue or complaint that you're having right now in your life. That's what that exam is trying to share with you, is how can you pass it, and that you're in a state of trying to win about something at life in your life and in operation currently as you're having that dream.
That's right. And a lot of times people will see things that are written on the test. So those are things to really pay attention to. So we encourage people.
Give you clues.
Yeah, absolutely. We encourage people when they wake up from a test dream or any dream for that matter to write it down, record it somehow, put it on a voice recorder, and put as much information on there, because the type of test really matters. If you're taking an English test, for example, but you have flunked English your whole life, that will tell you one thing: you're better at numbers. If you're taking an algebra test and that's what you exceed
problem
at,
to solve.
that's right.
Problem to solve.
And you work through it
English
very
is language
quickly.
to get, or communication to get, or thinking to get. Yeah, so they definitely can mean things on the test you're taking. Sometimes the answers are there too, but you may not wake up and remember those answers unless you're writing them down in the morning. So so thinking about what are those answers, or who else was around you in the test. Sometimes it feels really lonely taking a test. And it could just be a spiritual test as well, where God's testing where you're at, where your heart's at. And are you going to pass this spiritual test? While he's quiet, are you going to do the right thing? Are you going to obey the right thing that you know you need to do in your heart? So tests are fun. Anything else?
Yeah, well, a lot of times tests tell us about patience.
Yes.
If we're impatient in a test dream, that will give us a clue that we need to work on patience. Now, I know not many people want to work on that, and God forbid that you should pray for patience, because that's what horror stories are made out of. But we have a lot of different tests in life that require us to have patience. So if you're feeling antsy or impatient in a test dream, that may give you a clue to what your test is about.
Yes. So exams. We hope you pass the test in this one. Thank you for joining us.